Hey guys, and welcome back to the OneIQ podcast. Behind the plate part of it, the intro was screwed. Let's keep it going. I'm Will. This is DJ.
Good
And
start.
we're back after a 2 week hiatus.
Yep, that's how it's gonna be. Spring training, baby. Boring
It's
baseball.
I think it's our first pod of spring training. Like,
Yeah, since
I
it
think
started.
yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of talk about. Number one, Garrett Cole's a crybaby.
Oh no, this is our second one.
Is
This is
it?
our second one.
Well,
Yeah.
it's the first one
Yeah.
since Garrett Cole cried it and shit his pants in a spring training game because fat man Daniel Vogelback, who's built like an O lineman, ran like an
Yeah.
O lineman.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't even matter how fucking hard he ran. That just took that ball so deep. It was so fucking nice to watch.
Everyone talks about how slow he ran, but I don't think anyone realizes Vogelbach touched home plate before that ball ever landed. That's all I want to
Yeah.
say. Like,
Exactly.
that thing's
Doesn't
still in
matter how
orbit.
fucking slow you run or walk or whatever the fuck. That ball was gone in any fucking park in the MLB. So all that matters is it was gone. Who cares? He could walk the bases. He could jog them. It doesn't even matter. We're
Dude
in
could
spring
moonwalk
training.
that.
Seriously.
I do think
Seriously.
I think Vogelbach got a really good shot. I think he makes this roster now.
Yes.
Hit
Yes.
another
Two
piss missile
bombs.
today.
Two bombs so far. So
We're about, what, 10, 11 games into the Eduardo Escobar experiment, and I want to kill myself. Like, I'm so over it. I think he
did
went
you
0
watch
for
it?
15 until his, like, first hit the other day, and then he got a triple today, just by the sheer luck of God.
Have you watched a lot of his at bats? Are they good?
No,
Like, is
I've watched, like,
no.
3 at-bats, and I've, like, really taken a serious look at the knife every time. He's
Well,
like,
that's not
he'll
good.
watch it's like Matt Chapman, but worse. Like, he'll watch a fastball down the dick.
Worse.
Yeah,
Oh,
like instead of whiffing at the fastball down the dick, he just watches it, and then he'll be late on a high fastball, and then late on a low changeup, and it's just like, what are you doing? Like, I get it,
Jesus.
spring training. How are you late on a changeup?
Yeah. You'd think he'd want to make the most of this opportunity,
Yeah,
but I guess he's in sleeper mode.
yeah. His defense has been like whatever, but yeah, the bat woof. I've actually really liked IKF. I know not a lot of people have. I've been vibing with IKF Sabies. He's doing what he wants. Like, it's exactly what he has to do. He makes contact, sure he's going to strike out, but he's driving the ball, and he's sending in runs.
Listen, you've been on the IKF train the whole time. I think you won't get off of it until you're either super right or you're super wrong. So I'm
Yeah,
not surprised.
I think the trade deadline is my choice of staying on or off the IKF
Yeah, oh
train.
yeah. I think we're gonna find out real fast if it was a good move or a real just shitty move. But I
You,
think more importantly is our shitty fucking luck with our pitching staff right now.
yeah, I mean,
Tiedemann goes down.
Manoa still hurt. Like, I think they scratched him from his bullpen
They
today.
scratched him. Yeah, they scratched him today.
Gosman's about to throw off a mound. I think it's tomorrow or Saturday. But now
Yeah.
opening day for him could be in question. And then it's what Tiedemann's hurt, but Tiedemann threw today. He's making his debut Saturday, I
Yeah.
think. So that's all
I
good.
think
I'm a little disappointed he's not on the breakout stars roster. If he can start this weekend.
yeah, that is a little weird. You'd think he'd be on there 100%. I
That's
don't
who the
know.
MLB's been marketing. Like,
Huh?
that's who the MLB's marketing. They're like, hey, come check out one of the top prospects in baseball and the top left-handed pitching prospect in baseball, Ricky
Yeah,
Tiedemann. And the Blue Jays are like, absolutely not. Like,
I know.
here's Adam Macko and Brandon Barriera.
Here
No
have
shot
some
at them. They're great prospects
describe
too.
it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But come on,
Hey, big
teams,
dick
man.
Rick Tiedemann.
Yeah, come on. We need these guys. But I think the number one thing for the Blue Jays right now is just like don't speed the process up if you don't have to. Like
Yeah.
if Gauze isn't like questionable for day one, maybe just I don't even mind if he doesn't like if he's not the opening day starter. Like we all talk about the curse anyway, so
Brios kind of has earned that spot too.
yeah.
Like, if I'm-
Brios has been good, yeah. But I mean, you look back, what he started 2 years ago. That didn't end up well. So someone's got to get the knife. Okay.
Kikuchi.
Yeah, let's
I'd
give it
actually
to
run. I'd
Kikuchi.
love a Kikuchi opening day. The
Fuck
Cooch is
yeah.
loose on opening day. Absolutely.
I think we have a solid like s- rotation where I'm confident in giving whoever we want the ball and just get it over with.
A perfectly healthy rotation. What are you rolling out as your 1 through 5?
My goodness.
Because I think my
Fuck
one
it.
through
It'll
five's
depend.
pretty set.
Who do you got?
I got
The
Gosman day 1, Barrios game 2, Bassett 3, Kikuchi 4, Manoa 5. But I really also am like so close on putting Bowden Francis there over Manoa. It's just the fact that I
Mhm.
know Manoa's been at that Cy Young level and I haven't seen it from Francis yet.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, okay, we're talking about healthy.
Yeah.
Okay,
Healthy
perfectly
doesn't
healthy.
mean
Yeah.
good. Healthy doesn't mean that they're pitching at their best level. They're just
Yeah,
healthy.
yeah, yeah. Healthy, like, yeah, I would be similar. Kikuchi definitely earns the fourth spot over Manoa. But yeah, I would definitely put Manoa five as well. I think all healthy, I probably wouldn't change anything from yours. Because like coming off last year, that's the order of merit.
Yeah.
Like it really is.
And you know what's crazy is like there is an argument that Kikuchi could take number 3, but it's
He
like
was so
Bassett's
good.
also not a number 4 starter.
No.
All of the Jays starting pitchers would be aces on other teams. I'm convinced of that. Besides like the Yankees with Garrett Cole. But
Yeah.
Kikuchi's the
No.
second best starter on the Yankee squad. And he's our fourth
Really?
best. Oh yeah, he's better than Rodon. Rodon sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Rodon's
guess.
so washed. Bro's giving up home runs
Kikuchi.
to like double A ball players, and then Stroman's not doing hot.
It'll be interesting to see Kikuchi. Like which Kikuchi we get, because like obviously the back end of last year he was just the best pitcher in baseball.
And it's
But we've
Walkie or
also
Kikuchi as well.
yeah,
He
yeah,
wants to earn that pay.
yeah. He needs to do good. He needs to do what he was doing since the All-Star break. And if we get that pitcher, I could easily see him in the top 10 for Cy Young. Like top
I
fucking easy.
I could see an extension by the trade deadline for Kikuchi as well. I would be like a quick like 3-year 50 for
Yeah.
Kikuchi. That's nuts considering we signed him at 336.
336. Yeah, I know.
And now he's
Up to his
probably going to
value.
get 15 AAV easy.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be shocked if he got 20 AAV.
It's crazy what one season does. Like one good season turns around your whole. Because like before the second half of last season, like he's not getting paid that much, not even close.
Well, look at Robbie Ray. He turned $8 million into 100 and what 10? I think it was.
Yeah, look at him now.
Yeah,
Ah,
115.
I don't want to regret that, but
What do you
yeah,
regret? What about Robbie Ray? It was him or
no, no,
Gosman, and he's so
I don't,
infinitely better on Gosman.
I don't want to regret like making
Mm.
that mistake that Seattle made.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
I
that's
don't
the
want to
good
be a
thing
Seattle.
about Kikuchi did it in his second year and not his walk year.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. If it was this year, then it's like, ooh, you question whether or not you do it, but you're right. If he stays on a good path, then why wouldn't you pay him?
Yeah.
Two
Like if you
two
look back
seasons.
at 2021, both the Jays kind of like emergence revalue themselves guys on walk years, Matz and Ray, kind of
Mhm.
irrelevant in the MLB landscape now.
Yeah.
Like
Oh
I don't
yeah,
even think
everyone's
Steven
so
Matz
good.
is still in the league.
Last time I checked, I thought he was like on the Mets or the Cardinals or
I think
something.
I know he was on St. Louis,
Yeah.
but I don't know if he's still there.
He might be in like AAA or something.
That would make sense.
Yeah. But either way, I agree with you. But it's going to be interesting, like, to see, because I'm more than confident Gosman's going to stay the same human being. Barrios seems to be finding his form. It's all about what, if we get the same Kikuchi and Manoa comes back, best rotation in baseball.
If Manoa comes back, even if you get like Kikuchi with a 4 ERA, right?
Yeah.
And Manoa returns with a 3. The
Mm-hmm.
division's a very legit possibility.
Oh, for sure. Like
Also,
a
I'm way too high on the lineup. Like, I'm ridiculously high on this lineup for some reason, and I can't be.
you think it's just gonna
I think
be
it's gonna ball. I don't know why. I think Vladdy
nice.
is gonna, like, rub his cock all over the league. Like, I think he's just gonna be like, this is my
I,
fucking league. I'm
I
Vladimir
really
Guerrero
hope
Jr.
so.
And Bo's gonna be like, hey, not so fast. I wanna wave my hair in the air. Like, I just don't care.
One
And
and
then
two MVP voting.
yeah, and then
Wow,
Springer's
that
gonna be
would
like,
be
"Yo, guys, don't leave me behind because I'm getting old," and he's gonna ball out. Varsho's gonna be like, "Yo, you guys traded Gabby Moreno for this. Gabby Moreno, horrible compared to me. He's gonna ball." Kevin Kiermaier,
yeah.
25 home runs.
Okay, whoa. This is complete and utter bias.
Yeah,
Okay,
no, I
but I
actually
really hope Vladdy. If Vladdy is the same, people don't like. I don't know.
if
Think about
Vladdy's
it
the
this
same,
way:
it's over.
if Vladdy's the same, the team plays better. Like it's not just him. He's not just the MVP.
No, but if
If he
Vladdy's
hits
got on a
everybody,
yeah, like if Vladdy plays at a 2021 level, it'll elevate everyone else around him.
everybody, yes, that's how it works with every superstar. Same thing if Boba got going. If Boba got going, maybe it gets Vladdy going, and then if they're both going at the same time, which we haven't seen in like a very long
2 years.
time, like yeah, we haven't seen it like all of last year. That's a scary thing. Those two guys in the lineup could carry this team to the playoffs easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
We haven't. Have we been on since Matt Chapman signed?
No, we have not.
First of all, fuck you, Matt Chapman. Second of all, San Francisco, thank you for the pick. Third of all, why
Yeah.
the hell was I seeing San Francisco Giant fans trying to gaslight me into thinking Matt Chapman was a good offensive player, as if I
Yeah.
didn't watch him swing and miss on middle fastballs for 2 years. I watched him. You don't need to convince me he's a good player because he's not. Like,
Yeah.
don't. There's so
He's
much
got he's
coke in
got a
San
platinum
Francisco.
glove, right? He's got a glove to make him a good player, right? Is he
And
great?
Oracle
No.
Park, oh, pitcher friendly park. He might hit 200. He might hit 200
That would
legitimately.
be nice. That would be nice to see.
Like you
I,
think he? Where's the? I don't understand where the like hype comes from. I get great defensive player, love that.
mhm.
I for the Jays last year it was like okay, Chapman. He's done a full year. He's on that walk year. A little bit healthier, a little bit better from his hip surgery. He's gonna be
Yeah.
better, and he was worse. And what do Giants fans have to look forward to convince themselves that he's gonna be good? Wow, well, he hasn't really
Literally
been good
May.
offensively since 2019. He had a one good month in Toronto, and well, it's San Francisco. Like, no. He's
Yeah.
had one good month in the last 3 seasons.
Okay, I think he had a good month the month after too, but that's needless to say. People are just tunnel visioned and like they look at May and they're like, "Oh my God, he's a god. He's gonna do that for our squad." But they don't look at his strikeouts. They don't look at his how his approach just evaporated at the back end of the season. Like he wasn't the same player. But I mean, I don't know. They could take him. They can have him. We don't need him. Okay.
Yeah.
Defense was never the issue, and he's a good player at best. If he has a breakout year this year, fine, whatever. It wouldn't be a
Offensively,
problem.
offensively for Toronto, it was like addition by subtraction, which is really terrible to say because I really like
Yeah,
Matt Chapman. Like he's a guy
yeah,
that I will cheer for, but he's easier to cheer for on a different team besides your team. When you only have to
yeah,
watch like 2 or 3 games of his, it's like this Matt Chapman guy is nice. When you watch
yeah.
200, 300 games of him and he's whiffing at middle fastballs consistently, the revolver looks really appealing.
It gets really easy to hate him after a few games of going 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts for sure.
And one ground into a double play in the bottom of the ninth inning with the bases
Uh,
loaded, down by one.
can we have a petition not to have the most ground ball fucking double plays in the MLB this year? Because
Uh,
I think that was the worst part of it all, Vladdy. Just get it up.
Vogelbach.
Get it.
I was talking about Vogelbach. I keep saying Vogelbach. It's Vogelbach. But he did a get up RBI today, and I was like, he's a Blue Jay.
Yeah, just fucking hustling out of the box. We need that guy to just be chugging. Next to Manoa and Kirk.
Kirky.
All
Yeah.
of them. 3 horse race. What else? We got
I'm just excited to watch Ricky Tiedemann pitch.
Yes, I know. I was gonna watch that's the one game I was gonna like lock in, or like first, like whatever 2 innings he pitches, that's what I'm gonna watch.
Same.
Yeah, but I think over the last week, one of the biggest things that we should talk about really quick is whether or not Josh Donaldson will be a Hall of Famer.
No.
No?
Very good, not Hall of Fame.
You don't think so? He just retired. That's why I bring it up.
Oh, yeah, no, I
Big thing
know
this
that.
week. Yeah, obviously.
I don't think he did enough overall throughout his career to be a Hall of Famer. Like, when you look at his career numbers, they don't jump out of the page as you as a Hall of Famer. He could get in on, like, the 9th ballot. But
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Like, he strikes me as, like, like a Jose Bautista on the Hall of Fame voting. Where it's like, Hall of Very Good, not Hall of Fame.
I think Batista had a better chance than he did.
And Bautista's off the ballots already.
Yeah, exactly. I think he sneaks in eventually. Like, they need, like, find an extra body or whatever, and he's like on the 8th ballot or like 9th ballot, like you said.
If he makes it that far, I could see it. But like, I also wouldn't be shocked if he's bumped off after the first year. The one thing that really holds for him is the fact that he was an MVP.
That MVP is like fucking. Without it, no chance.
Yeah, he was an MVP and an MVP runner-up in back-to-back seasons. That's the only thing that really helps his case. But like,
that really helps your case, though. I feel like it'll get him in.
He wasn't like he was good in Oakland, but like I guess he was like starting to turn into an MVP, and then he just like broke out in Toronto. But like, it was 2 insane years. 1 really good year, 1 year full of injuries that led to a trade. Not very good in Cleveland. Pretty good in Atlanta. Not very good in Minnesota. Dog shit in New York. And then pretty good with Milwaukee.
I don't know if this is a stupid question, but do you see his jersey being like hung up in the Raptors for the Blue Jays?
I could see that, because he was such a huge part of the 2015 team. My only thing is that it ended so sourly and it ended so abruptly.
Yeah.
That it might not. Like, to me, if you had to go in order for 2015 players, it's Bautista, Edwin, and then you would look at Donaldson. But
yeah, I think they will. Like I said, the MVP. We when was our last MVP before him? Like, seriously, I don't even know.
I think it was in the either early 2000s or late 90s. I think there's.
I can search that up real quick.
Yeah. Individual awards. AL MVP George Bell, 1987.
So
what I'm thinking
is like, he's our only MVP in the 2000s. So like, that's a pretty big deal. Yeah, that's a pretty fucking big deal. So I think they, especially because they were on it. Like, as soon as he announced it, boom, multiple posts. Like, throwback fucking walk-off game winners and all that. I think they're going to do something.
I could see them doing something, not like right away, but in like 5 years. I could see them being like, hey, Josh, we want you to come out. We're going to put you up in the level of excellence we think you deserve. And you'd be like, yeah, why not?
Yeah, I think so too.
Like, when you look at, without him in 2015, they don't make the playoffs. And I think that's going to be a huge thing into everything. If he got that World Series ring, I'd say he's a lock.
Automatic, yeah.
But
Same for Hall of Fame. Same for Hall of Fame too. If he gets a ring that year and carries them to that ring. If he brings a ring
back to Toronto, there'd be a whole bunch of bias to bring him into the Hall of Fame. But
for sure,
he didn't, so he doesn't make it in my books.
I think
I
he
have
just
really,
does,
I have really strict Hall of Fame like standards though, because
which
the
is
Hall of
fair.
Fame itself is very. It's kind of a joke now. It's like the Hall of Very Good.
Yeah. That's the thing. You're going off what you think.
Hmm.
I'm kind of leaning towards what the MLB thinks.
Yeah,
And there's so many players that they just won't allow in because of some stupid, shitty reasons. And there's some players that just don't deserve to be in. Don't get me wrong. That
yeah,
they got to find some fillers that are like fringe players, and he could easily be one. Fucking randomly down the line, even in 10 years, like oh Josh Donaldson. Oh yeah, that guy was decent for a few years. Let's get him in there. And his
yeah.
glove. He had one of the best gloves of all time.
And a bare
At,
hand.
exactly. So
I until this may I don't think this is any very controversial anymore, but until Barry Bonds and Pete Rose are in the Hall of Fame, I won't take it
mm,
seriously because it's just like the potentially well the greatest power hitter of all time, potentially one of the greatest players of all time. Barry Bonds isn't in the Hall of Fame because he took steroids, whatever. Pete
yeah,
Rose isn't in there because he gambled.
yeah. Fuck, I'd gamble too.
Nuts,
I
nuts. I
don't
think
know.
it's stupid.
I
Until
think
those
it's
two get in,
stupid too.
it's not worth looking at the Hall of Fame. It's a serious thing.
People say it all the time, but like, bro, he was carrying. But both those players were like big parts of like the league and why it was paid attention to. Like Barry Bonds was single-handedly the biggest attraction in baseball back then.
Same with McGuire
And
and Sosa for that home run chase in the American League.
exactly,
Woo!
exactly. And there was no chance at that time that they didn't know they were on steroids. So why the fuck does it matter now?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was pretty obvious that they were on steroids. Like Barry Bonds turned in
Exactly.
from a skeleton to a like a 270-pound muscled
Exactly.
man.
It doesn't take a genius. So it's like you guys don't want to let him in just because people are bringing it up now and like
Yeah.
there's a scrutiny about it. Like you guys use that to your advantage to make money
Yeah.
and profit off the MLB and him and his success. Why doesn't he deserve to be in the MLB
And it's like the
or the
vote the writers
okay?
are a lot of the writers who vote on like Hall of Fame ballots just suck and are so out of touch with baseball. So
Yeah.
this is no shot at anyone. David Ortiz makes the Hall of Fame. Deservingly so. Guess what he's
Mhm.
very well known for? Taking steroids. Guess
Yeah.
who isn't in the Hall of Fame on the same ballot as him? Alex Rodriguez, who had just as good of a career. His major thing, he took steroids, but he's a Yankee, he isn't in. Barry
Yeah.
Bonds, like if Ortiz is in, Bonds has to be in. Sorry.
If one goes, all of them go. That's just how
Exactly.
it
You can't
works.
gatekeep the Hall of Fame like that and be like, well, I like him because he played for
Yeah.
Boston.
Big Poppy
I
was a
like
very
David
nice guy.
Ortiz.
Yeah. Very.
He had an emotional speech in 2016. Barry
Yeah.
Bonds broke so many records.
Yeah. I think it has to do with like Big Poppy will always be one of the most beloved players in the game. Alex Rodriguez and Barry Bonds, like they've been through some controversy way more than Big Poppy.
Here's the thing. If Alex Rodriguez and David Ortiz were to switch careers,
Uh-huh.
so instead of Ortiz going to Boston after Minnesota, he goes to New York, and A-Rod goes to Boston instead of New York, who makes the
Mm.
Hall of Fame? A-Rod or Ortiz? Because I think I have my answer.
I think I think it would still be the same. I
I
think
think it
it's
would be
based on
A-Rod.
I think it's still the same.
I
I
think
think
A-Rod would get in. I think Ortiz would get in, right?
yeah,
Like I think Ortiz would be in on like a second ballot or maybe in on the first, but I think A-Rod would get in if he was a Boston Red Sox.
really.
I
Why?
do believe that.
Why? What do you think has
I
influence?
just
I think
I think
it's
the fact that he played for the Yankees, which no disrespect to Boston, is like the hub of baseball, right? For the longest time, especially during A-Rod's career, when you thought of baseball, you thought of the Yankees, you thought, "Oh, it's A-Rod and Jeter." And the
yeah,
way that Jeter was so clean and classy and characteristic about it, and A-Rod was very much of like
the
kind of
opposite.
like fuck you, like he was
Yeah.
like a pompous dick, right? But got caught with steroids, and because he got caught with steroids, everyone's like, this is a New York Yankee doing this? This is a disgrace to the sport. Whereas I think if he was a Red Sox, he would be kind of swiped under the rug, like, like Ortiz's was.
I think A-Rod is the equivalent of Brad Marchand.
Oh, yeah. No,
I think anywhere you put him, you're going to hate him. And anything he does, you're going to hate him. So I think it wouldn't make a difference. He would still be the same person. He would still do the same things. Whereas Big Poppy, right, he's made some mistakes and stuff, but he also like does a lot of good, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas
Well, I'm just looking
A-Rod's
at, like,
fallen.
the player. You take away the person, right?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
if you switch the players and switch the scenarios for the players, I think A-Rod would be favored into the Hall of Fame a lot more as a Red Sox than he would a Yankee.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
The person
Well, yeah,
he's still going to be a dick wherever he goes.
yeah. I think, yeah, you're right. I mean, the Yankees won't even let you grow out a beard, so they hold the players
Dude,
to a
oh my
different
God.
standard.
Imagine Ortiz without a beard.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Holy, don't search it up. I don't even want to see.
No, I'm not doing that. I have to quickly fact check something for Will. Because I think I have another argument for A-Rod.
Let's hear it.
So, David Ortiz, we were talking about the rings. The rings are a huge thing.
Yes.
Ortiz helped end the drought in Boston. That, 70-year drought on that team where they couldn't do shit all.
Yeah.
He comes in 2004, he's a World Series champion, right? If Ortiz if A-Rod had been in Ortiz's shoes and helped end that drought.
Yes. Yeah.
I think that has a lot to do with it. Obviously, Ortiz is still an insane player.
Big Poppy's the clutchest playoff hitter of all time.
No, yeah.
So, I don't know. There's definitely an argument for both of them. I wouldn't be sad at all if A-Rod made the Hall of Fame because his career was nasty. You could argue easily he's in the top 10 of all time. Offensively, yeah, I think so.
Okay. I'm going to just read off a slash line real quick for you. 295 batting average. The career average of 295. A career on base percentage of 380. A slugging of 550. An OPS of 930. An OPS of 140. 3,115 hits. 696 home runs. 2,086 RBIs. You putting that person in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
That's A-Rod.
Yeah. He's a baller, bro.
Yeah.
He's a fucking baller.
The career WAR for A-Rod's also 117.5.
Wow.
Obviously, defensively, that helps. Now we're going to bring in Ortiz. He had a career batting average of 286. A career on base percentage of 380, a 552 slugging, 931 OPS, 141 OPS plus. That slash line's identical.
Yeah.
He has 541 home runs.
Less home runs.
That's less home runs. He has 2,472 hits. That's like 700 less hits.
Yeah.
He has 1,768 RBIs. That's 300 less RBIs. And his career WAR, take into the fact that he's a DH, was 55.3. Still very good for a guy who only gets his numbers off offensively and doesn't get any defensive boost.
For sure.
But gotta have A-Rod in.
A-Rod, yeah, there's no question. Like I said, he is a top 10 offensive player ever in the game, in my opinion. So, you gotta have him in, but at the same time, look at Barry Bonds.
I mean, we can do this argument forever.
You can't look at the stats and say, he deserves to be in no shit. Look at Barry Bonds. This is the prime example. He's Superman, so you can't really use stats as, an argument, because obviously they don't give a shit about stats.
Yeah.
So.
I guess my final question for you. With all the pitching injuries, should the Jays just kind of roll with Bowden Francis and whatever else is there while they wait? Or do you say, fuck it, balls to the wall, Blake Snell, here's a 3-year, $140 million contract?
Oh, God. That's very intense. Obviously, Blake Snell's a phenomenal pitcher. But I'm not going to, I wouldn't say balls to the wall overpay. I
I
don't
only
think it
bring up
gets.
Blake Snell because he's more likely to take a short-term deal than Montgomery.
Yeah, that's fair. And I would take him short term, but I wouldn't overpay just because we're
Sorry.
frantically worried that our pitchers.
Not 140 over 3. I meant 120 over 3, which is a 40 AAV,
Yeah, yeah, that's fine.
which I think is
Our
pretty realistic for him.
Yeah, that's pretty realistic. I mean, yes, I would invite it, but at the same time, I don't think they should panic. It's the first month. Like if we lose a few series, you know,
Panic.
or just
Blake
no,
Snell,
no.
Mike Trout, bring them over here.
Yeah. But that being said, obviously I'd take Blake Snell, but I wouldn't say
So you aren't looking
overload our
for the
cap.
Jays to just kind of say, oh, I don't know what's going to go on here. Let's lock her down to be safe.
Yeah, don't panic because we talked about it what 20, 30 minutes ago. When they are healthy, we already have a top tier pitching staff.
It could be better with Blake
They,
Snell.
yeah,
If
well,
it
our
went
bats
down
could be
to
better with
if
everybody else we could have got during the offseason.
if
And it didn't.
Boris, if the Jays, they probably aren't, but if the Jays are in a Blake Snell talks and it's them and the
Yeah.
Yankees,
Mhm.
you do whatever the fuck it takes
Yeah,
to make
yeah.
sure Blake Snell does not end up in pinstripes.
Make sure Blake Snell isn't in the AL. If
Or
that's the case.
if Blake Snell is going to be a pinstripe, make sure they're paying out of their ass. So
Yeah.
much so that they lose Juan Soto
Yeah, I want 100 mil a
a year.
year. Yeah, for sure.
Do you have any other
Yeah.
topics to touch?
Do I have any other topics to touch? No, I think spring training doesn't really get. I mean, it gives you a lot to talk about if you're willing to sit there and watch the game, but I just haven't been interested, and I'm ready for the regular season. Once the regular season starts, man, uh, I'm gonna be so locked in this year and
Yeah,
ready for this team to be up or down.
I the fun and the magic, the effect of spring training has worn off so
Yeah,
far. I'm
yeah,
so over it.
yeah.
So over it.
You forget every year how long it is too.
Yeah. It's oh yeah, spring training's here. But only for so long can I enjoy watching a Brian Severin, a 198 hitter from Double A, hit a nuke off of Joe Smith from Single A, who has a 9 ERA. Like,
Yeah.
after a while, you're like, oh my god,
I
what am I
do like the
doing?
fact I do like the fact that they're gonna bring in that Rising Stars thing. That'll be interesting to watch, but everything
Yeah.
else don't care about.
I don't know if I've mentioned this on here. I have a way on how I would fix spring training.
I think you did, but say it again.
I would make it 20 games long.
Oh,
So
you
you'd
did.
cut 13. It's like a
Mhm.
3-week thing, right? Even that feels a little long, but to make it interesting, the first 10 games, where it's mainly just prospects playing, it's only 7 innings. And then the final
Okay.
10, where the regular guys are playing, it's 9 innings. That's like a week and a half of real baseball before the season starts.
Yeah.
I think
No,
that
that
works
works.
fine because you know who isn't wanting to sit through spring training games? The average person. Not even the hardcore baseball fans want to sit through it. You know what I don't want to do?
Yes.
Watch a spring training game. I'm going to, but I'm not going to enjoy it.
Bro, I think another idea is the NBA. I don't watch it, right? But it's a cool idea. They do before the season, for the summer league, they do the tournament,
Yeah.
whereas you play a few games and then there's a tournament and the winner gets money or whatever. And they do it that style. That would be cool. A
Yeah, that'd
few
be
weeks
cool.
to get the standings and see where you're seated and then play a big tournament for
You know the
money.
memes of when the Dodgers win the preseason tournament and can't win the
They can
World
have that one.
Series.
Exactly. Yeah, let's fucking get that.
the only The only sport that does preseason right is probably the NHL. And that's because they can. It's a week long. They play about 6 games, maybe 2 weeks long, and then you're into the regular season. That's short and sweet, and it's perfect.
Quick and easy.
Obviously, in baseball,
yeah.
Like in baseball, you can't do that because you need your pitchers to build up, and that's why spring training has to be so long. But it's just like, do some inter-squad games for the first week and don't televise them or whatever. Like, have them play baseball for the month beforehand. Like, you can have 40 spring training games, but only have 20 on TV. Like, have the last 20 on TV on, like, the way of, like, you're actually playing other teams.
Yeah.
Because this shit's boring.
Well, I always thought, like, I'm like a super fan for baseball. Love it. Always have. People are just like, oh, I'm so bored. Like, how can you sit there and watch? And now, from the perspective of, like, I still love baseball. I would watch a 9-inning game easy, no problem. But, like, I understand why the average person cannot deal with baseball. And if an average person was to start watching baseball, the preseason, like the spring training, that would suck for them. And just the off season would suck for them. They would get bored and they would be like, why am I watching this sport? It doesn't bring attention. The reason, some of these sports do so good is because, like, they're straight into the important things. Trade deadlines for NHL, NBA, whatever, like, they're short and sweet, and trades happen. They stack up. Like, the NHL, all the deals happen on 3 days, and there's 27 trades, and you're locked in,
Yeah.
They need to do something like that so people are intrigued and not bored, because it's not just the game that's boring, it's everything about it that's boring.
Well, I think a huge thing for the MLB trade deadline compared to the NHL trade deadline, like the NHL, there's like 10 games, 15 games left in the season, at most 20, right? Like, that's like a third of their, or 2/3 of their season's done, 3/4 of their season's done. The thing, like, the MLB's trade deadline is very close at the halfway point. If they pushed it to mid-August, like you're talking August 15th, I feel like trades would be more inclined to happen because a team would know more of where they're standing.
They're more impactful.
Yeah.
A team's going to make a play. If they think they're making a run at the playoffs, they're going to make some upgrades. If they think they're a contender, you're going to make some upgrades. But if you don't really know where your team's going, it's like, well, you don't really know what you need.
Like, I know this is Brendan's first year watching baseball, and, like, obviously not a great off-season to start in.
Yeah.
Because it's been terrible for everyone. But even his big complaint was, like, why is there 33 games? And it's like, don't know, man. Straight up, like, I couldn't tell you. 33 is insane.
Yeah, it's tragic. But once the season starts, I like having something to watch almost every day. Like,
well, and it's different too.
Yeah.
Because you get the regulars in, there's the intensity of every game. I find watching a full 162 goes by quicker than watching 33 spring training games.
Oh, for sure.
Like, it's not even close.
Sure, yeah.
And it's fucking 10 times the amount of games.
Yeah, you're at the All-Star break, yeah. For sure.
So.
No, I agree. I think that's good, though. I think that was good chat. That's all I have to say about spring training, and save some other topics for another dragged out one next week.
Me and Garrett Cole to have more crying.
Yeah, seriously, somebody do something bad. Please.
Somebody have a slow home run trot so Garrett Cole can cry in a meaningless game.
Maybe we'll get like a Wander Franco update or something.
Dude, I don't want to hear Wander Franco's name again.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for watching the Behind the Plate podcast. This is in partnership with OneIQ Sports. I'm Will. This is DJ, and we thank you for joining us on this magical journey across the world. I'll catch you all in the next episode, whether that's next week or in 2 weeks. Peace.